Hi, I'm Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker, and author, and I want to invite you here to Evolved Heart, or perhaps you've come back here to Evolved Heart. And I want to talk a little bit about the call of the Evolved Heart. Sometimes life comes knocking at the door, circumstances, situations. Sometimes it's a subtle thing about just how it is that we're feeling within ourselves, or things aren't quite right. Sometimes it's as a response to things that are happening when we look at our wider world. Sometimes it can happen because there's been challenges, bereavements, upset, separations, all sorts of challenges. We may have been made redundant, there may have been a bereavement, there may have been all sorts of change and challenges or uncertainty. Sometimes it comes because there's just been battle, just an overwhelm of stress. And these times sometimes invite us to pause and breathe and ask us why we're here. Sometimes we're tired of the battling of ourselves, our mind, those in our lives. And there's a readiness to show up in a completely different way. There's a readiness to come to a place of real deeper appreciation and understanding of this life that we live. An invitation to arrive at a place of a deeper consciousness, a consciousness that goes beyond our very limited sense of our identity. A place of consciousness beyond our own limited minds. Minds which often define, decide, devise and divide. A place of quiet mind. A place of open-heartedness. A place of greater compassion. Time when there's less time, where we're in this tension, and where we're far more intentional in terms about how it is that we're showing up. You know, it's a call to perhaps at last appreciate this fragile beauty of this ever-changing life. A place where we can raise our consciousness from this often very tight me consciousness, and being concerned about me, myself, my immediate circumstances, my own perceptions, to a more expansive appreciation, a kind of a movement from I to all in many ways. An interconnectedness, an appreciation of the wonder and the oneness, the interconnectedness of everything. Why would one want to go on this journey? Why would you want to go on this journey? Because sometimes all the grabbing, grappling and grasping and gathering isn't truly nourishing. Sometimes we find that we've gone on this journey to try and achieve all of this success, and sometimes the success has just led to unhappiness or all sorts of other challenges or stresses. Sometimes we've gained and gathered many of those things, but we still feel empty. So our greed still leads us to a different type of a hunger. And sometimes, despite all of our endeavors, the things that we had hoped for don't show up. The journey of the evolved heart knows that ultimately there are no certainties, there are guarantees. There's just the ever flowing dance of life. And when it can be seen in its beauty and its fragility and its challenges, there can be a far deeper appreciation, a far deeper gratitude, a place that one can arrive at a deeper sense of ease. Whatever stage in one's life one finds oneself at, early stages, later stages, challenging stages, more comfortable stages. And it means that we're able to show up with others with greater kindness and compassion. And it's a place from which we realize that every day is the practice of that muscle. The richness of our life is absolutely dependent on that interdependent nature of life and how it is that we show up in every moment. And every moment will bring its own learning opportunities and often its own challenges. But if we show up with that heart, there can be a deep fulfillment, a deep appreciation, a deep gratitude, a deep understanding. And so everything that you'll find here on Evolved Heart now and over time is about that journey. Some of the things here are for you in your day-to-day life. Some of it is linked for you if you're a leader. And some of it is about that essence of legacy, that beyond our own very, very limited sense of who it is that we are. That possibility about how it is that we show up that might elevate, illuminate, encourage. So I just want to say a big thank you for being here and enjoy the talks, meditations, and resources that you find here. Thank you.